Prince Harry, a 38-year-old man, says he is traumatized for not receiving hugs from his father. This created a void in him that is now filled by a 41-year-old, maybe white, maybe black woman cosplaying as his dead mother. The result? A victim narrative that might potentially go away if they receive an apology from his family. But until then, a public therapy session will do. Here are 5 things Harry's therapy session can teach you. Number 1, you can't change a person that is set in their ways. The best thing you can do for them is point them in the right direction. The responsibility of change is on them, and sometimes releasing yourself of the burden to be their savior can be the best thing you can do for them. There were a lot of things to take away from this therapy session, which I will be analyzing in another video. But one thing I'm going to highlight for now to support this first point is this. Very early into their therapy session, Dr. Mate made a statement that spoke to the core of Prince Harry. I noticed that Harry's entire demeanor changed after that statement was made, and Harry quickly switched into defense mode. If they had spent some time on that particular thought, it might have brought some real revelations or maybe even a little breakthrough. But Harry kept deflecting. He didn't want to hear the truth. My impression was that he only uses therapy to co-sign his victimhood and not as a tool to get better. In the therapy session with Dr. Mate, Harry said that he constantly switched therapists because they didn't give him what he wanted. I wish I was kidding. We will come across people like Harry in our lives who are set in their ways, who don't want to do the work to change, and people who think they are the smartest in the room. The best thing you can do for those people is to allow them to come to their own realization because you can't save them. Number 2, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Harry and Meghan have complained about the poor treatment they received from being members of the royal family. Although other members of the royal family are thriving in that environment, let's give Harry and Meghan the benefit of the doubt and say that they were served some lemons. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. What I mean by that is, we might desire a really nice steak meal with mashed potatoes and green beans and expect life to serve it to us on a silver platter. But what life does is give you a bag of raw potatoes and then introduce you to someone that has steak in their freezer. The best you can sometimes get out of life is some pre-cooked green beans. It is up to you to apply wisdom in pursuing a relationship with the person that has the steak so that the steak can move from their freezer onto your plate. It is up to you to take the raw potatoes that life gives you, peel them, cut them, boil them, add some extra ingredients, and then mash them up to become mashed potatoes. Life doesn't always give us everything prepackaged. It takes work. It takes patience and a realization that sometimes everything you need is right in front of you. You just have to put the puzzles together to create the picture you're looking for. Harry and Meghan claim to have been served lemons, which in my opinion were really not that sour. But rather than taking the lemons and making the best out of it, they keep throwing the lemons in our faces, and they've created a lemonade stand that only sells lemons, no lemonade. What are we supposed to do with their lemons? Number 3, don't air out your dirty laundry in public. Guys, just don't do it. There's nothing remotely dignified or cute about putting your family's business out there, whether you're a celebrity or not. In Harry's conversation or therapy session with Dr. Gabor Mate, Harry said that the reason why he put out his book is so that his vulnerability can let us know that we need to start talking to our families. Yes, that's what he said. So he published personal details about his families so that we can learn to start talking to our families. Maybe Prince Harry should have taken his own advice when he said this.
Everyone has a right to their privacy. It's the sort of incessant need to find out every little bit of detail about what goes on behind the scenes. The private life has to be private.
Number 4, stand for something or fall for anything. If you don't have something that drives you, guides you, wakes you up in the morning, keeps you going, you just become an empty vessel that latches onto whatever comes your way. To this day, I have no idea what Archwell is about. I have no idea what Harry and Meghan stand for. It appears they just attach themselves to whatever societal issue is prevalent at the moment. It also appears that they just give themselves to the highest bidder. You have money for me? You've got money? You've got money? All right, come right along. And it seems they just go wherever they see money, rather than being led by true intentions and motivations. Right now, the highest bidder is Penguin House for a public therapy session. When I think about Prince William, I think environmental issues and homelessness. When I think about Princess Catherine, I think early childhood. When I think of King Charles, I think socio-economic development for marginalized people or green energy. When I think Queen Consort, I think literacy. When I think of Meghan and Harry, I do not know what positive thing they stand for. Unfortunately, right now, it's starting to look like Prince Harry is a spokesperson for drug use, and it is very dangerous for someone in that position to publicly co-sign drug use while trying to be the person that's standing for mental health awareness. So when you think of yourself, what comes to mind? What do you stand for? Number 5, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Life is too short to be holding on to bitterness and unforgiveness. Not forgiving someone is allowing that person to live in your head rent-free. When you are at home replaying scenarios in your head over and over again, that person is on the other side of your world, freely living. In Prince Harry's book, it is clear that he has held on to some of the most petty things for over 30 years. His brother having the bigger side of the room that they both shared, his brother's side of the room having the view in a 30-bedroom palace that they lived in, his brother looking like his mother, his brother getting married and starting a family before him. Prince Harry even shared a story of how he gave himself a bad haircut. He and his friends laughed at the haircut that he gave himself. He then went on to show the haircut to William, who naturally also laughed at the haircut, the same way Harry and his friends did. William then asked, "Harry, what did you do?" But Harry was hurt because he expected William to hold him. He expected William not to laugh at him. He expected William to tell him everything was going to be okay. This was in his book. This is the kind of stuff that Harry has held on to for over 30 years. And it just goes to show what happens when you allow bitterness to fester in your heart. It leaves an emotional tumor that doesn't go away. This Sunday, I will be posting a longer video on why Harry is now monetizing his trauma. We will be taking a journey through Harry's past up to the interview he just did with Dr. Mate to see how his current ego formed. I'm actually starting to feel a bit sad for Harry. He needs a lot of help, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but instead he has given into celebrity culture and is using his platform to create more emotional wounds. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Monday Star Club. We are helping you with all the tools that you need to succeed in life. If this video has added any value or brought value to you, I will really appreciate it if you subscribe to join the club and like this video. It will mean a lot to me. I will see you in the next one.